Every story created in this world is usually a story about some character and their life, relationships, and journeys. Movies filmed to show somebody's life, books written to tell us about certain people, manga are all about lives of different humans or non-humans. Characters are the reason for a story to actually exist in the first place. And the same as with the steps of the narration, character development has its own structure. A, B, D, C, E, where A is for action, B for background, D development, C for climax, and E for the ending. Using our current example of Harry Potter, let's go through some characters for better understanding the meaning of each part. With the case of the main character, Harry, it will be quite similar to the development of the plot, as this book is a book about this boy. A. Action. It's an episode where something actually happens. Harry appears on private drive as a small bundle of a baby, and then he's 10 years older, awakes in the filthy cupboard. It's just like a short entrance into a story. Imagine you are invited into somebody's house where you have never been before. You saw some facade, entered the door, and that's all. No idea where the kitchen is and what style the living room is. You are in the house, but you are just near the door and know nothing about surroundings. B. Background. Only now the description begins. What the main character looks like, his features and history, how he grew up in Dursley's place, their poor attitude and the attitude of the whole world. For example, even at school the boy was avoided and rejected by others. And also we learn about strange things happening around him. In the background part, we finally get introduced with the character of the book, and we're getting the most important information about him to advance through the narration alongside with him. The little boy, lost in misery, who is alone and doesn't expect anything good from the future. Development and climax are nearly the same as with the steps of the plot. D. Development. When Harry finally entered the magical world, realized his place in it, suddenly became a celebrity, but step by step got used to Hogwarts, life in the magic world, and so much new information about life as a wizard. He found his real home and friends. Climax. Realizing that Voldemort is near and wants to use the stone for rebirth, Harry is ready to break all the rules of Hogwarts to be expelled and return to life with Muggles, but makes an attempt to stop Voldemort. He acts and goes to fight. E. Ending. That shows the result of all the adventures of the character, how they changed him and what he got after all the trials. Harry again is a celebrity. He survived the second meeting with Voldemort, finished his first year and returned to Muggle world, where he came from in the beginning. But now he is a completely different person. He knows that a new year at Hogwarts awaits him. This is the description of the main character, and here it was pretty simple, as it follows very much the plot of the book. But every character in this tale has their own stories and development, with their own A, B, D, C, E. For the trio of the main culprits, it's true even in the course of the first book. But it's a bit different for background characters, who have less screen time. Their development is very stretched and takes place beat by beat in every book of the story. But they are alive too. Every side character has its own different life. Malfoy, Dobby, Stanchion, Pike, Percy Weasley, Sirius, they all have A, B, D, C, E. For example, with Dobby. Action. Dobby appears a strange creature from every side. Background. Only in the end of the first book we learn more about him and his life. Development. Dobby is free. Yeah, everybody knows that. He begins to work for money but helps Harry whenever he asks or even without asking, during the Triwizard tournament or telling him about Room of Requirement. Climax when Dobby faced his old masters and fought against them. And ending, well, I said ending in short. His death was heartbreaking. Here I'll share the detailed examples of other characters and from other stories as well, if you want to see more different ways of development. Because even if those steps A, B, D, C, E are usually easy to trace in the stories, they can vary very much in continents. And differences and contrasts are exactly the things that make the story interesting. Each character is alive, and as all the living people in the real world have desires, weaknesses, or favorite things. It goes a bit beyond the mentioned steps, but as we have here the lesson of morphology of a character, it's the best place to introduce this little feature. With different backgrounds, each character has their own preferences. Take Ron Weasley. Wants to be more successful than his brothers, ashamed of the fact that his family is poor, and of course loves to eat. Oh, and he's a fan of Quidditch. Those are simple things, but they form the character's attitude toward everything around and make him stand out of the crowd. Those desires and weaknesses make him strong and real. Because in the real world, nobody is perfect and everybody has some wishes. Even if it's a wish to go for a holiday somewhere or a little scene of eating after the workout.